How's the sound? How's the picture look? Anybody get tracking today? Woodland, small clothes bags. If you see a piece of gear, just ask about it and we'll go back to it. There's gear all over in the building, obviously. Give it a few minutes for people to jump on here. We're a little bit early tonight. Text message went out earlier. Gray mesh pockets. A lot of radio pouches. OD pelters. More gray mesh pockets. Alpine toiletry bags. OD mesh pockets. OD triple mag pouches. Brown day packs. Brown man day packs are up there. Brown Man AK M4 Micros also about to run tomorrow. Pelter wraps in Typhon. Robert Montgomery, what's going on, man? How are you? Long day today. Long day. Not bad. Nothing bad. Just long day. Been running for a long time. Amanda, what's up? LW, what's up, man? How are you? If you a radio kit, programmed radio kit, those should ship out on Monday. They should all be here on Monday. All the pouches are made. We've got bins full of pouches. We just have to bundle your color pouch up with your radio, put them in boxes, and get them shipped out. Patch wall hangers. We've made quite a few of those, different colors, different sizes. Tool pods, clothes pegs being made. Got some shotgun micros here. Hydro carriers. All right, guys. Well, I realize we're early, but I don't see comments here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one short, and we will do it again tomorrow. What's the newest t-shirt? The newest t-shirt is sorry, we're doing stuff with our hood rat friends, right? We're doing hood rat stuff, and the back says with our hood rat friends. It looks like a closed sign. 2 small mesh pockets, right on, Brandon. Those should ship tomorrow. YouTube is unreal. Yeah, no notification. It appears that way. I'm showing 19 people on here, but I don't see shit for comments here. For you Patreon guys, I made a post in there today. Only saw one person. Like when I subscribe to 4 or 5 Patreon places, Patreon channels, I get a notification every single time. Like it comes up on my phone. It scrolls through like a text does. Any chance of some more woodland row? I'm not sure what that is. Rallyman pouches. Yeah, probably so. Send an email. Let me know what you want. Pals mount with pistols. Pals mount without pistols. Like what are you looking for? And how many? How do I like the Vermeer 1000? I don't have a wood chipper. Everything from Vermeer is good. I'm not familiar with what size the 1000 is. I will tell you though, having rented several wood chippers, it's a fucking all day. Like I 5 guys, like paying labor to 5 people to feed wood chipper, and at the end of the day, you got a couple of very small piles. So, like if you're gonna own a wood chipper and you've got debris to run through regularly and build a pile, that's awesome. But if you're gonna rent one, and if you're honest with yourself and pay yourself even minimum wage labor, right? If you account for your time, it's not profitable to do that yourself. And if you have a job that pays you like real money, fucking buy the wood chips or have pay somebody to do that shit. Chip drop. Yeah, we don't get any chip drop. And the amount of wood chips we use, chip drop wouldn't begin to even scratch the surface of it. But like we had hundreds of loads of wood chips come in here, like no bullshit, hundreds of loads this year. The company, luckily, I became friends with the dude that runs the operation when they were contracted for 1 year here in Camden. So we got about half of their wood chips. We got a lot. And you've seen what we've done here, Jody. The amount of wood chips that it took to build the soil and fertility here, we have thousands of loads of wood chips. I've been on chip drop site. I get notifications every few months, every 6 months, like, hey, do you want to stay on the list? Never a single time has chip dropped anything here. I'm too out of the way for chip. Same here. I mean, kind of. We see tree services around. We track them down and like, hey, if you need to drop your wood chips. But by now, like most days, people know the value of wood chips. They want as many as they can get too. Does Patreon provide a better margin than YouTube membership? I don't know the answer to that. But our Patreon costs $5. You should be on both. We're planning to put different content on there to bribe people to be on both. But that'll give us access. When one's locked, we have the other one. But even Patreon has banned, companies. 5 acres of burnt oaks to clear. Plenty of neighbors who need work. Good. Right on. Right on. Okay, saw it in one of your videos. I'm not sure what we're talking about there, buddy. The wood chipper. Yeah, we rented. Get the biggest wood chipper that you can get. With a smaller wood chipper, like a 6-inch, 8-inch, even a 10-inch, you have a lot of work to do to be able to get. It won't eat a tree. It won't fold the limbs in backwards until you get to like a 14-inch wood chipper. When you have a wood chipper that has a winch on it, then you've got something serious there. Got Amanda's text. I would have missed out on the gray pouch. Yeah, they'll go fast. All that stuff is. I don't think people realize, like you see it on the live feeds when I walk around, how much stuff is here on the tables. That all finishes, how much stuff is here. Guys are like, they get on the text list and then they'll cuss Amanda out. They're like, I didn't know you were going to send a text every night. Well, and then like every text, you can remove yourself from the list. Same with the email list, right? There's a button. You click it. It removes you. And then they're like, well, I didn't see these come up. When did they weren't on the website. Oh, they were on the website. but we sent a text out and somebody bought them all. Like people will go on when we drop something, people will buy all of it and then just sit on it and sell it later. Brandon Brown, order placed from Tennessee. Right on. I'm in Tennessee. Have you ever used one of the walk-behind brush hog type mowers? I have a tractor, but need something for tight spaces. LW, I have not, man. And I've been thinking I want a sickle mower. It's like a head turner, and it has, well, I'm sure you know what that is, but for anybody who doesn't, a sickle mower is you walk behind it, and it has teeth that interlock, right? I need something for chopping down, brush and stuff. And they're typically, I would love to have one that's like 3 foot, 4 feet wide, but I think I've only seen them at like, I don't know, 24 inches wide maybe. Do you just the amount of open stock? It depends what it is, Brandon. You're asking very, very vague questions. You gotta be super specific. Some stuff like these day packs is locked inventory. Rigs are locked inventory. Small stuff that we run every week, toiletry bags, open inventory. Slings, open inventory. Pelter wraps, open inventory, right? So a lot of stuff for a long time, if it was under $100, it was open inventory. If it's over, it's locked. I have 14,000 part numbers just in 2 colors of belts, right? Base black and base coyote belts with all the color combos, sizes, and thread options. There's 14,000 part numbers. So inevitably there's going to be something on the website. But since we're having the conversation, it's obviously of importance to you. So what you do is you order the thing that you want and you put in notes, hey, if you don't have this, I'll take these other 3 color options. A lot of times when we have bigger orders and it's waiting on one thing, I might send you an email. But the real truth is I don't have enough people here to email even 10%. So like my printer tray fills up, and every day I get more emails and I print out the ones that I intend to be actionable on. I don't have the labor to do it. Every day it stacks up. And sometimes on the weekends, I get up super early in the morning and I spend 4 hours on the weekend emailing, sending options out. Hey, I don't have you. You're asking about this order. Everything's in your box, but this one thing in this color. I have these other 2 or 3 colors I can send you today. Miraculously, though, 75% of the emails I reply to, we never get a reply back from. Hey, where's my shit? Here's the situation. This is what I can do. We don't hear back from 75% of them. Do you have so did that answer your question, Brandon? I feel like there's a lag here. Like I got 31 on here. I need more thumbs up, guys. That number on the right, that's the free thing. You get on a lot of live feeds. People don't even answer your questions unless you send money through a super chat. I don't need you to super chat. I just ask you to hit the thumbs up, which helps with the algorithm. Every time we do one of these videos, you will see people like, hey, I didn't get a notification. If you go back and look at the video tomorrow, you will see people get on here after the video's over and be like, what the hell? They didn't even notify that this was live. I was looking for it and it didn't show it to me. Max, what's up, buddy? We were very busy. We recorded a Pulling the Thread podcast today. We recorded a video of the 308 split front chest rig, and Scully brought out a whole truckload, carload full of 308 rifles, and he put all the mags in there, and then fired the gun and showed it with all the individual types of mags in. And then Brandel shot more rounds today than he had ever shot in his entire life. Scott, what's up, buddy? Yeah, get rid of them fucking water skis. Even if you were the most water skiingest motherfucker in the world, those are all old water skis, man. Nobody's skiing on Brady Bunch water skis anymore. Yeah, that answered. I was just curious about the text drops and in stock. What did you order, Brandon? I got lucky, found the live show. Bill Wilson, right on, man. Where in Tennessee are you? If you don't know, we're in Camden, Tennessee, kind of between Memphis and Nashville. John Witherspoon, what's up? Saw pics of guns laid out. They need SOE rifle cases. Yeah, we don't build rifle cases that big. We do some rifle cases. They won't hold any of those guns. Roddy's Rule, what's up? My dad used those skis for the original Freaky Friday. I'm sure, man. I'm sure. In the actual movie, is that what you're saying? Two small gray pouch. Where did that go? Super chat, live chat. Two small gray pouches, one large pouch for the custom medical backpack you made for me and the day back. Right on. Yeah, those should ship tomorrow, dude. Brian Fraser, what color camo patterns do you carry on bags when you're walking around in cities? Multicam black. Multicam black. I got a multicam black red zipper, red thread fanny pack that I use. When I'm walking around cities, I don't typically carry bags, right? I've got a bunch of stuff in the Forerunner. Like this is one of the bags that I carry with me. It's fucking heavy. One of the bags I carry with me every weekend is this right here. I'll show you. Right, it's a large tool bag, solar panel, battery pack, EDC organizer. Here's that fanny pack I was telling you. There's toilet paper in here, tons of batteries, flashlights, headlamps, GoPro batteries, drone control, drone battery, another GoPro. There's all kinds of stuff in here. When I'm walking around, I typically have everything in my pockets. And then when we go in like abandoned buildings and stuff, I'll put on other stuff. I'll have the fanny pack and I'll usually have a mini pack with me. Optimize You video is loaded with info. Awesome 20 minutes. I didn't realize that was live. I need to send that to Jerry. I didn't know that went live yet. Nope, those just won't do. I ride a HO Monza Sloman water ski. Cool. Ferrari water skis, right on. I have never water skied. Bottom pyramid holding them up in the movie. Oh, that's cool, dude. John, has Bear influenced you at all to become more in with religion? No, I think religion's fucked up, right? It's not religion. Follow Bear. I think Bear would tell you that he doesn't do religion. Bear follows the Torah. Maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, I've sat down and had one-on-one conversations with Bear and spent quite a bit of time with Bear. I've probably spent more time with Bear in person than anybody other than people he lives with. Do you do any personal SOE gear over the years you may have built that are like in your own private museum? Yeah, I've got some stuff. A lot of the stuff you see that's like new stuff, we build that because we want it, right? I want it. A close friend or, family wants it. Scully wants it. Stuff like that. I have like stuff up here that are one-offs, and some of the firsts that we've built. Like there's some Louis Vuitton stuff up here, some Tiffany and Company stuff up here. There's a Louis Vuitton chest rig right there I did. Isaac, what up? Adamsville, Tennessee. Right on. What color camel patterns do you carry? Okay, there we go. I think that's caught up on all this. Religion is an issue. A relationship with the Creator and Savior is where you find truth. Yeah. If we're going to talk like the Bible, let's talk about all the parts that were removed by man from the Bible, right? Let's talk about all that shit. When you start going to church, fucking it seems like every church is mad at another church, and they're not they're giving you their interpretation of a small piece of the Bible. And they're not doing, it's like Bear said, you know damn well that dude that's telling you what you should do isn't doing that himself. Tejas, what's up, Christopher? Since the spring SRF, my wife has been laser focused on helping with getting more prepared. That's awesome, as long as it doesn't hinder getting you prepared. It's easy to spin off and do a lot of things that we perceive are from other people, and it takes away from us also, right? I'm not saying don't do that. Make sure that you are gaining value from it, right? You are getting more people prepared that are near you so that you don't have to provide for them when the time comes. We are getting more people prepared that are near us and getting them on board and more like-minded so that we can trust them when times are hard and we can operate back to back with them, right? They don't show up and drag a bunch of unwanted with them, right? Go out and do movements, right? How do we go from point A to point B without drawing a lot of attention? What happens if this place burns down, where do I immediately go? And vice versa. The canonization was done by King James. Things were removed, like the book of Tom. There's 51 books removed. There's more of the Bible was taken out than it currently exists. Live to survive. What's up? Working on it. That's awesome, Bill. That's fucking great, man. What is a good satellite? Iridium? Go to like satellitephone.com. I think that's the website. You'll find several of them. And just read through. Like, there's a lot of videos on those. Canada Prepper. I know that's not his name. Canada Dry Prepper. Canadian Prepper. Had a satellite guy on. Just type that in, watch that video. I know a bunch of dudes have talked about phones. Bob, I don't know if he's on here right now. I know he has some satellite phones. There's different plans. There's different packages. Who has a really good thing on satellite phones? And also, you can send text through the spots and stuff. Overland. What the fuck is the name? Expedition Overland. I think that's the name of the channel. The dudes with like 3 or 4 Toyotas. I think they're based out of Utah. They have like an airplane hangar. Expedition Overland. Get on their channel, type in satellite phone, watch those videos. That's a good set of videos they did on it. Decided to just pick up book on smoke signals instead. Pigeons, man, pigeons. Expedition Overland. Yeah, great channel. Monkey Works does a lot of talk about them also. Good. Monkey Works will be good also. I would be surprised if Forward Observer doesn't have something about sat phones also. Mike Shelby. Faraday bags. Don't forget, we talked about Faraday bags on the podcast today. Max Valor. Do you have a expedition type rig? Do you fancy yourself a Expedition Overland guy? I have some Toyotas. Greg, get up. I'd love to see collaboration between Canadian Prepper and Panic Prepper 1. I don't think he'll do it, man. I don't think he'll do it. He knows we're friends with Bear, and he has made some videos about Bear, and like Bear reached out to him several times. Like, bro, let's do a video. Let's have you on. I think there's a way to rig up your own sat phone. Could be wrong, but the info came from some Signet guys. Forerunner had a Tundra. Max, nice. I currently have a Tundra and a Forerunner. I like the Tundra's a cool. I have TRD Pro trucks, both of them. The Tundra's cool. It's useless as a fucking real truck, though. Like, I can't even put a 6-foot mirror in the bed. But that cab is enormous, right? It's fucking giant inside. And the Forerunner, say the seats are folded down in the back always. We never. Both are set up with ham, right on. What are you running in there for your hams? You an ICOM guy, a Linko, Kenwood, Yaesu. I like Yaesu stuff. I do like that ICOM. What's that? 706. Sadly, I had to trade the Tundra for a Mega Cab dually Ram for tow. I get it, man. I got a Mega Cab too. I got a 5.9 diesel Mega Cab set up with a CM flatbed, and we can pull a gooseneck with that. 1981 Toyota bobbed bed. Cool. Chevy 63s and bed 63s. Are you saying you have 63-inch tires on that? Is that what you're saying? I like spiral sliced hams. What the fuck are you talking about? I must have missed a comment here. Mike is legit looking to get him here locally soon. He'll come out. Mike was very easy to work with. Offers a great program. He's got his cadre are fucking top notch. A lot of them are still actively involved. Take that to mean what you want. I've seen Mike Glover talking about these small Garmin devices that satellite and pair with your phone. Can't talk, but you can text. Yes. Yeah. Oh, 63-inch leaf springs, like you got Devers or National Springs made them for you, custom packs. Or yeah, Mike is doing some stuff with Expedition Overland as well. My buddy just stretched a 95 four-wheel drive dually Chevy pickup to 6-door, long bed, set in camper. That's cool, man. That's cool. There's an outfit out of Texas that takes the excursions and makes them 6-door. 2007 8.1 Chevy quad cab, 3/4, 8-foot. Nice. Cool. So if we do an expedition meetup here, like a little expedition get together, what truck are you driving here? What are you bringing for your expedition rig? I'm not talking Overland. I'm talking about show up and we'll camp and fucking lie to each other and tell ghost stories. Look at gear. Maybe teach a class on bridging and winching. And 95 Taco. Any way to find a good mechanic that knows what he's doing? Christopher, it just depends where you're at, man. Forerunner all day, nice. How are you sleeping in it? You got a rooftop tent, or you sleeping on the ground, or you got sleeping in the back cargo? What are you doing? Rusted out Chevy 15. In the Stairmaster, treadmill, elliptical, bike assault, which is your favorite and least favorite? So which one works the best is also the one I like the least, probably the Stair Stepper. The Air Assault bike, it's an ass kicker too. I have a Concept 2 rower. I think that works really well. I like the treadmill because I can get on it in past 30, 45 minutes and not even know that I've done it, you know? Clapped out 04 F-150. I'm bringing a Tundra TRD Pro with front and rear ARB loggers. Nice, LW. I got a Tundra TRD. It's black, as they all should be. Only truck I own is 2015 Ram 35, 6-speed manual. Cool. Kleist, cool. Same, I used to hate the Stairmaster. Now, yeah. And you can buy all these Planet Fitness trade-ins, you know. These purple ones, you can save $1,000, $1,500, and then you can just vinyl wrap them. You could make your Stairmaster multicam black. Chuck Peoples Homestead Medical, I have a kin in Kentucky. You'll do great things there. Does the small utility pouch work with an and rig? And could you show how? It does. Although I would tell you to do something different. Let me show you what I would do. And I mean, you can do a lot of things, right? You've got 2 columns of PALs, but you could put a Nalgene pouch there, which is going to be wider, but it'll still mount up. You could also put a jet boil there. But I've got a 2-column utility pocket right here. They're on the website. I don't know if they're open, but this is a 2-column utility pocket, which will mount up just the same as it will on this split front chest rig right here. It'll mount right here, and you can mount it low or higher for your preference. That's why we gave you 5 bars there. And you're just going to use malice clips or whatever your favorite attachment is. If you're like, I hate tactical tailor and I like soft ties, or, you know, if you get on Amazon and put in malice clip, you'll see 100 different brands and options pop up. And what we were showing today in the video, the M1 rig has 2 columns of pals just like this does. And you can put, well, what we were showing is you can put the compact tear-off med pouch and the 2-column utility pocket on these rigs. And then on this rig, you can put an NSW admin on the face and triple pistol if you wish to. Start our second batch of eggs. Dawn, right on. We just pulled eggs out. She pulled eggs out on Sunday or Monday. Rattle can of Stairmaster? Totally can. Just like this. But you could totally vinyl wrap it, man. Take that motherfucker to anywhere that does vinyl, and they'll wrap it up badass for you. You make those utility pockets Velcro backed. Brandon, we have not. We have not. Could we do it? Yes, we could do it. When would you get it? I don't have a clue. I don't even know if those are on the website able to order. How would you run comms on that rig? Max, on which rig are we talking? On this rig here? That's personal preference. Do it however you want to do it. Our radio pouch, well, here, I'll show you. I have one out here also. You could put it on the side. You could stack it on the face. You could rig it up to an H harness if you were running an H harness on that rig. Here's a Baofeng extended battery. This will fit a lot of other radios also. So you could mount it up right there. Any war belts in the future? We're doing war belts one at a time. You got to send an email. It's kind of a custom deal. I owe a few guys war belts right now, so I don't really have a timeline on when that would be. Sent that Bedros video to my boys, told them to listen to the, yeah, Don. I think I know the answer. Any war belts? Kiri, what up? Call me biased. Woodland is the best. I like the Woodland, man. I really like Woodland when you put multicam black on it. 8 Bear, what's up, buddy? What did you do today? I got up at 4:15, worked out, and cut 50 more radio pouches this morning. Pulled and boxed some orders. Brandel was halfway here, realized that he didn't have his lens for the camera, so we were about 2 hours late starting, which kind of just shelved my day. I was kind of in limbo for 2 hours. I mean, I filled the time. And then we did a podcast. We did 2.5-hour podcast, Scully and I, talking about kind of war and civil war in the United States, what it would look like, a little bit of security. We talked about filling IBC totes with rock or sand or gravel to stop bullets, you know, and barriers, make barriers. We talked how you would secure an area, you know, if those days came. We talked a lot about the differences between thermal and night vision. Talked about a lot of stuff, current events. And then we shot a video with the split front chest rig. Jeff brought in a bunch of different 308 rifles. And then we did some video footage with those and they shot every one of the guns. So for B-roll for the video. Just busy, man. Busy. Only 9 likes. I'm seeing 43 likes, but we got 55 online. Now, that number is deceptive because a lot of people will get on here early in the video to see what gear they're going to see, and then they jump off. So typically, out of those 46 thumbs up, half of those dudes that did that are not currently on the video. So the number should always be higher on the right than it is the left. I joined a new gym, has a cryo chamber that I haven't tried. I've stood in a cryo chamber. I haven't used it for any length of time. I don't have one near me. Definitely do the cryo chamber. It's easy compared to a cold plunge. A lot of say that you get more benefit from the cold plunge, and you could do a cold plunge almost anywhere as opposed to a cryo chamber. You know, if you buy a cryo chamber, they're upwards of $100,000. There's a lot of maintenance, and there's some consumables, gas-wise and stuff that go with those. Do you get to see how many of us watch you from start to finish? Yeah, I'm sure there's some way in the back end on the analytics. That's why I keep a bunch of old derelict farm equipment that will just pile up on the access road. That's what we talked about that quite a bit too, Tyler. Scully's like, yeah, if I was going to control access on this certain road right here, we'd pile up a bunch of school buses, shoot holes through them, light them on fire. Whoever comes up, it's going to be like, oh shit, we don't want to go in there. Stagger them back a bunch more up in addition to that, right? You could tamp it with sand, dirt, rock, barriers. You know, you could make gabion barriers out of hog panels, for instance, wire them into a circle or square, and then fill them with debris and rocks and, you know, engine blocks. You could put all kinds of shit in them. Cryo chamber was great, but time sped up. I swore 3 minutes was 45 seconds. Yeah, I'll bet. If you have the ability to use a hyperbaric chamber, you should definitely take advantage of that, right? Because it's under pressure, and it pushes oxygen into your body in a different manner than breathing it. You're not going to get a lot of exchange on the cellular level from breathing it, but when it's under pressure, it actually pushes oxygen through your pores, into your eyes. It heals a lot. Make claymores as mobile as handguns. Tannerite. Brandon Brown, downtown Brandon Brown. OD butt packs. I do not have any. I have black that can ship to you tomorrow. OD. I don't even have OD in the building right now. We have OD on the way in. OD is not a hot seller. It's a trip. Guys with OD squeal the loudest. But when we run it, we run very low extra numbers of it, and it sits here fucking forever. Or leave it purple and treat it like the tool that it is. Okay, I think we're caught up on these. Pure Evil Bandit, what up? Gojira for breakfast. What is Gojira? What is that? Live to survive. I vote for Amanda. Just gave a thumbs up. Live to survive. Where are you? And have we met? Amanda, I want Mad Max kids in gopher holes with boomerang. Was that a kid? Was that a kid? Or was that like his little girl slave? I guess it was a boy, wasn't it? Godzilla. Gorilla for breakfast. Godzilla. Got it. Okay. I got asked by 4 people today if they could help me cut lawns, but no one really wants to work, and I still have to build clientele. Yeah, they want to come out and do the easy shit and then sit in the shade and have you pay them 50% of the fucking money. That's how it always is. And use your equipment, and they're not going to inspect the lawn prior to running the equipment, right? So they're going to run over a chain or, you know, whatever. And then when they do, they're just going to be like, oh, my bad. Never met, right on, from Central New York. Got it. Gorilla is a pretty badass band. I think it was Marpat from Willow. I think it was a midget from Willow as a young kid. Oh, maybe. We talked about that too during the collapse of civilization. What we're going to drive, right? I'm going to get a Geo Metro, cut the roof off, put a minigun in it, and then I'm going to have midgets back in the back with the minigun because you can't hit a midget as well. They're smaller. Cut 20 a week by myself and work a full-time job. Or you could cut 30 a week by yourself and work a full-time job. Or you could cut 80 a week, work the full-time job, and provide other stuff, right? Hey, when you mow, do you also string trim? Will you round up the fence line if that's what they want? Will you square up the shrubs with the hedge trimmer? Will you bring in brown mulch or black mulch to their preference, right? Will you add edging and bring in rock of their preferred color, right? What other services can you upsell? While you're there, hey, I will come in and I will clean your gutters out, and then I won't throw all that shit out of the gutter on the ground so those seeds grow. I'll actually throw them into a wheelbarrow and I will take the debris away. This is what that costs. Oh, hey, I saw you had dogs. I will come in while I'm doing your lawn every 2 weeks and I'll pick up your dog shit. That's what this costs extra, right? I'll pressure wash the side of your house. That's what this costs. I'll pressure wash your deck and then I'll Thompson's water seal it or whatever chemical you prefer, right? How can I upsell them while I'm already there? Cheaper to feed small people. Yeah, midgets are a big commitment, right? Like Kid Rock wanted to adopt his midget, but that's a big commitment. That's why I own rentamidget.com, so that you can rent one and see if you really want to make the full commitment to midget ownership. My buddy is talking silverware, melting it into silver. A lot of people talking that. Why don't you just buy silver? Why don't you just buy silver? My teenagers drive Geo Metros, pretty reliable. Cool. We saw them turn them into like Wasteland Warrior vehicles, you know, out in California and shit. They're super light. When you get them stuck, you can literally pick them up. Mohawks and chaps will rule the apocalypse. I plan to have a big cape and a big staff with a skull on it, you know. Like, people think I'm joking. Like, during the collapse of society, we're going to get the lions and tigers from the zoo. We actually talked about that on the podcast, too. What about the monkey? What about a monkey? Do you want a monkey? It's kind of like beginner level shit. Do you want a monkey or do you want an ape? I can rent a midget from you. We're going to have midgets. We're going to have, when we do our next party, we're going to have a bunch of midgets. Just like running in and out of small doors and turning doorknobs and shit. We're going to have a midget fire breather. We're going to have midgets throwing midgets up in the air. Just hopped on. The first thing I hear is rent a midget. I'm assuming you already have rent a midget on all social platforms. Would I be telling you about it? Would I be telling you about it? JW, what up? Toolco, what's up? No, you're going to get one. Dude, have a monkey on pulling the thread. Sometimes you can catch deals on silver. People will sell for nothing, not knowing. I was in a prepper group today, and people are like, I want to buy some silver. Where should I get it? Listen, guys, if you want silver and gold, I buy out of the private groups on Facebook pretty frequently. There's a lot of it there. If you buy right now from any of the big dealerships, they are charging a fucking huge premium, especially on anything like combi bars. I buy combi bars. They're scored, 100-gram bars. They're charging twice what you can get them for online. You could get midget wrestling to come. Yeah, they do. They come through Paris a couple times a year. Just signed up for Patreon. Is there a big difference between Patreon and YouTube Perks? There's not. We're populating Patreon. It will be of value soon. I put up in Patreon today, hey, we're about to do a live feed, ask questions. We don't really do you guys get to ask questions on our podcast. I was going to print them out, and then Jeff and I were going to do, viewer questions. and the questions would have come from Patreon. Before we went into record, nobody had left any questions, so that didn't happen today. Midget versus monkey cage fighter. Do you make specific chest rigs for little people? Don, we don't need to. Our stacked micro rig is literally 10 inches across. By law, Amanda has to have a booster seat to even ride in a vehicle in California. So anything that'll fit her will fit most children. Anti-Guinea combat monkeys. I have about 20 super sacks and 450-pound feed sacks. Are they empty, John Witherspoon? That's what Scully said today. Because I was talking about filling IBC totes and making a wall with them and then stagger a second row, right? Because bullets would go between those, right? But if you got a round, it could chase through the crack. So I was saying put a second line of IBC totes. He's like, geez, you don't even have to do that. Just take all these feed sacks you've been saving for 10 years and fill those with sand. I'm like, gravel. He's like, I wouldn't do gravel because you might be next to that thing. And if a bullet strikes like rock or riprap, that becomes shrapnel. Whereas if it strikes sand, it does not become shrapnel. My favorite jean jacket is an XL Children's from Walmart, if that tells you anything. Anybody else used to catch crawfish and make them fight? Yeah, we did. I'm about to actually buy crawfish and put them in my ponds. I went out and fed fish today. I walked all around the pond and just hand tossed fish food in, pellets, floating pellets. We have a fucking ton of fish in the pond. A lot of new small fish, and we didn't put them there, which means they're spawning most likely. Reason 99 as to why leaving California was an awesome fuck yeah. Constitutional silver premiums are skyrocketing. 2 deals since last year were filled for over $20 million each for Eagles and junk silver. Yeah, hey, what's that lady's name? Yang, right? I want to have her, I actually want to have her out for SRF. I sent a message to Thomas Massey to see if we could get him out here. He does come to Tennessee. He lives right in Kentucky. I've met him several times. Lynette Zhang. I would like to have her out here. We have giant crawfish up here, but we call them lobster. Yeah. We had a client that worked on lobster boat that sent us 30 lobsters. He FedExed them to us, and they came alive in a cooler. And we were boiling the shit out of lobster and barbecuing lobster, man. We were so full of lobster, we were feeding lobster to the dogs. Thomas Massey would be awesome, yeah. Getting Massey with Massey at SRF would be great. I think so, too. I met him at Rogue Food Conference the first time. What did you use to seal your ponds? We didn't seal them with anything. We dug holes in the ground. One of them is leaking. The reason it's leaking is because my guys built a giant dam around a bunch of really big pine trees, and then the pine trees died and rotted. The middle pond really needs to be deconstructed altogether and taken out. The one in the back, this is Tennessee. If you scrape a hole in the ground and it rains, you'll have frogs, turtles, and fish show up. Lobsters used to be fed to the poor. Yeah, I remember. I've heard that several times. Always wanted to do an aquaponics setup, mainly to harvest tilapia and freshwater prawns. Why don't you do it? Totally doable, man. Totally doable. Now, the one that was leaking, we put bentonite clay in there. I put $2,000 worth of bentonite clay in there. And there's different kinds, right? You put this stuff in there, and it's supposed to settle where the leak is. That didn't work. And then we had another one where we drained it, put bentonite down all over the base and the side, and then put red clay over that to hold the bentonite, and then that didn't work either. Logged on to Patreon to sub, and I see a pic of Booty Busters, St. Jeff. Awesome. I haven't seen that picture. That must have went up there today. Got shipping on the new shirt. I like the new shirt. I am very pleased with the new shirt. This is the new shirt right here. Sorry, we're doing hood rat stuff, and on the back it says with our hood rat friends. Would you like to see what the new shirt looks like? Stand by, I will show you. Maybe I'll show you. Let me see. Also drank chocolate milk, had pizza. First part reminded me of this story, Freedom Matters. Can you freeze dry lobster? Sure you could. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's the shirt coming next week. What are you thinking? We'll see next as far as government breaking news or worst case. So they don't want to talk about it. Watch Mike Glover. Put a video up today. Check out Mike Glover's video. Very good video. And like he said, they don't want you talking about Ukraine right now. So they're going to amplify all the crazy shit going on in the United States, right? You just had an old man shoot a black young man. What you might not be hearing is the very first reporting of that said the kid entered the old man's house. That's not what they're saying now. That has been removed. Those posts have been altered. Then you had a group of teenagers turning around in another driveway the same day, and a black gentleman fired on the car. They drove for 5 minutes until they got cell coverage. The ambulance showed up, and the young girl died. She was dead on the scene. There's been several other shootings. You have all these teenagers in Chicago beating people up and robbing. Basically, they have these streets where all their higher-end stores are, right? Their luxury goods stores. And they're mobbing up and robbing the shit out of those. They're pulling people out of their cars. You had several people shot. What's not being reported is most of that is gang-on-gang shootings. If you look at the people involved in those mobs, those aren't people that you are hanging out with, right? Those are criminals of opportunity. And when you call them rioters, Lori Lightfoot, as well as the new incoming mayor, say that they're just oppressed people and they're just peacefully protesting. Get the fuck out of the cities. Like, you're going to see a lot more of this. As soon as these U.S. dollars abroad come home to roost, you're going to see a ton more. I mean, it's already ramping up. Don't you think so? Summer is the season to riot. We're not even in fucking summer yet, and it's already fucking starting. Did you know that we're sending the tanks to Ukraine? Did you know we're sending Bradleys, or not Bradley, we're sending Strikers and troop transport to Ukraine? We're sending a bunch of vehicles over, right? Now, Jeff will tell you, because they don't want you talking about that, but Jeff will tell you if we really wanted to send them tanks, we got 1,000 tanks sitting in Germany. We could have them there within a day. They're just going to keep trickling more and more stuff in there. But they don't want you talking about that right now. You should listen to Mike Glover's take on this 21-year-old kid that they're making this big deal over, this fucking the worst intelligence leak in the whole history of the United States. Really? I think you mean Hillary Clinton. How the hell is U.S. sending strikers and troop transport not an act of war? It is a fucking act of war. Everything that's happened has been an act of war. Liberal policy, yes. And two, also keep in mind, right? What you need to pay attention to, look at the map, red versus blue. Because the Republicans on that map hold 90% of the United States. All the crazy shit is coming from 10%. It's coming from those cities, right? You've got Oregon right now. I think this passed. Oregon just did it. Oregon, Washington, and I think California just did this. If your child runs away and ends up in one of those states, the state will fund sex change surgeries and not notify you as the parent. They will basically give sanctuary to your minor, and there's a list of surgeries that they will perform. So, like, just look at these things, right? It is absolutely insane. And whose children are they doing that to, right? Those are people that are like you, right? Those are you. It's not about your kid. It's about fucking destroying your family. It is about doing harm to you. It's getting spicy, and PHX, you're an early adopter. Appreciate you. But I mean, we'd be super naive to think SOF wasn't in Ukraine. They're like the Northern Virginia Army, right? Code word for, well, if you don't know what they are, it's just a special operations unit of the CIA. They're everywhere, right? They're all over the fucking place. West Virginia State Police shot a man at his father's funeral over a parole violation. His blood was all over his son. 3 generations screwed in one of it. Yeah, it's fucking getting out of hand. We have troops in the Crane. All kinds of weapons are being sent. Yeah, I would consider that an act of war. How the hell is, okay, so we've read all of these. How long past Best By date on food have you eaten something? Had salmon Best By 2014. I had tuna maybe a year ago that I took out of the kitchen that had a 2013 date on it. Come on, I mean, but think about this, right? All of you guys that have had MREs or have bought MREs, most people at this point have probably seen civilian MREs because they give so many out for FEMA events and stuff. So the tan MREs, the very first MREs were in a chocolate brown wrapper. So first Gulf War, right? 1,000 points of light coming at you, Saddam, you know, that kind of shit. We sat here in this garage and ate brown wrapper MREs. Like, just, if it's not swollen out, if it doesn't, like, if it has botulism, it's gonna smell like a diaper that a baby shit in, right? You're gonna know it has botulism. If it's busted out, if it's bowed out, if it's under pressure, rusty cans, stuff like that, watch for that. Otherwise, like, I've eaten green beans that were probably 20 years old maybe. They kind of break down, right? They're not green beans, they're gray beans, and they take on a heavy metallic taste. Most cans that food is put in now, they actually have a plastic liner inside those cans. And acidic stuff, tomato, pineapple, stuff like that, they eat their way through that shit. So that's not gonna store long term. You're gonna wanna put those in jars. So you're gonna get a couple of years out of those until they eat their way out of the cans. But other stuff will stay for a long time. Love me military MREs, helps me get through college. Yeah, I ate a lot of MREs. It's an act of war against Crane. This government is at war against the US. The biolabs that were in Ukraine that you heard Russia kind of talk about briefly, those were our biolabs. That was our research over there. Scully made a good point on the podcast saying you don't see M4s in videos from Ukraine. They're using 60-year-old guns, yes. And that's what I talked about too today on the podcast. I said, we know at least 100 special operations troops, special operations people who have retired and live within 1 hour circle of this place right here. There's like 100 real fucking meat eaters that have overthrown and changed countries, right? I said, so those are guys we personally know, right? We can talk to them on a daily basis. There's thousands of those dudes. At what age do they become non-combat effective? And his take was they don't become non-combat effective because they're not out rucking and doing shit like that, right? They can still shoot people at distance, and it's about the upheaval, right? It's about targets of opportunity because you control the battlefield. When you fight in those manners, you are out there on your terms, right? So one person can change the entire morale of a whole fucking, platoon or a whole, group of dudes. So, and it's hearts and minds, right? They're training people, and that's what they do. So those dudes, and I'm like, well, how many? And I'm of the belief that they know where they are at all time because of these things. Scully's of the belief that the government is so incapable and fucked up that there are thousands of those dudes just lost in the wind, and they've lost tabs on them. And maybe if it says veggie omelet on the side, you might as well give you foodborne illness. My father always said, let the fight come to you. It gives you a tactical advantage. Enemies, foreign and domestic, right? I would love to sit here and tell you what possibilities and capabilities are, but I believe somebody would come and knock on the door, or they would lock the account down or whatever, right? Enemies, foreign and domestic. Read those books. If you're bored, you don't even have to read them, right? Just listen to them on audiobook. Matt Bracken wrote those books. Just listen to those books at what had happened in those stories, right? Enemies, foreign and domestic. There's 3 of them. Enemies, foreign and domestic, and then foreign enemies, and then domestic enemies. That's the three book series. Just listen to those. There's a lot of books out there on guerrilla warfare that you can just consume. How long do you think rice will last forever? Literally fucking forever. It'll get bugs in it. We don't care about bugs. Don't tell your wife the bugs are in there. Boil the rice, prepare the rice. You're never gonna know the bugs are in there, right? If we're really worried about it, add cinnamon, sugar, call it fucking horchata, call it breakfast cereal. You're gonna use everything at that point. If it comes to the point where I'm opening rice, I have fucking thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of rice. I just went through rice that had been sitting here for a couple years and buckets. What'd we do, Amanda? 30 more buckets? I think we did 30 buckets of rice few weeks ago. And some of them had so many moths in them that I set them outside. I've been taking rice every day since before SRF and just adding it into chicken feed. I'm just throwing it out on the ground, the chickens are eating it. I don't know how much nutrition they're getting, but if anything, it bulks them up a little bit. But bugs aren't a problem for you, right? If it comes to the point where we're eating storage food, you're not operating in meat and potatoes and rice and salad, right? Everything left over goes in a bowl, and that's eaten in the next meal, and you're eating soups and stews, and you're making gravies and bases out of those leftovers, and you're putting that over rice or oatmeal or potatoes, right? We're not gonna eat in a manner of this is breakfast, this is lunch, this is dinner. If it comes to the time when you're eating that, you're going to be operating at such a high tempo. You have night security, day security. God forbid you actually have to fucking move with people, especially wife and children, right? So you're gonna eat when you can eat. It's not gonna be structured. You'll have eaten pets, but yeah, you're gonna eat pets. What do you use to store your grains? So I use 5-gallon buckets, and I use 7-gallon Mylar bags. And then I fill those up, put O2 absorbers, and then seal that. I have an impulse sealer, right? And I wanna put 3,000 cc's in each bag. You'll see all kinds of shit. I want that bag to suck up there. Now, when you do this, you will have extra headspace in that bucket. Once that bag sucks down, you can put other shit in there. You can put seasonings in there. There's always something else you can put in that bucket. You can put some proteins in there if you wanted to. I'll tell you, I have buckets right now that we moved here with. Amanda, maybe she remembers. I've got rice in buckets over 15 and 20 years old right now, sitting in buckets, lids on the bucket, no Mylar, and there's no bugs in there. There's nothing going on in those buckets. And see, the bugs come with the food typically. If you want to do that, you could take your bag of rice and have an upright freezer and just put it in the freezer. Let it freeze for a few days. And then take it out and let it come up to room temperature and let the moisture come off of it and then bag it. You can also take that and do what's called dry canning. You can just take your grains and put them in jars and put them in the oven and just cook them in the oven, and it'll kill off anything that's in there also at that point. And then you can just seal the jar or put O2 absorbers and seal the jar. How many days? 3. You just need it to come down to temperature. Just look it up. You'll see people say 24 hours. You'll see people say 72 hours. Do what you're comfortable with. But better yet, do all 3 and then sit it and then come back in 6 months and open them up and check them out. You have your head straight. Timberman, I'm 52 years old. I grew up as a survivalist, right? I think Red Dawn, I saw Red Dawn in the theater. I saw Rambo in the theater. And then Discovery Channel had Nostradamus. And then I listened to Art Bell as a kid. Do you store batteries? I do store batteries. We buy batteries pretty frequently. Sam's Club, Costco, I've got hundreds of batteries stored. Alkalines, and then they always seem to like, now 10-year shelf life. Maybe, but I buy a lot of lithium batteries also. And then I've been buying rechargeable batteries too. I've been buying pale blue earth batteries. And then I also have solar generators at this point. I've got a stack of Blue Eddy solar generator. And each of those is a battery bank that I can put in a different vehicle or different location. And then I have solar panels with that set. They're 8 feet long and they have kickstands on them. And I have 3 or 4 of those solar panels. So those live plugged in the wall. Power goes out. We're good for multiple days, but we're going to trickle charge them, during sunlight hours. We're going to charge them up and just keep them jammed as much as we can. Now I can also take 3 of those panels and run them into one battery instead of charging all 3. Now when I say batteries, we're talking a unit, like that stack it's this big. It's a pretty big unit, but it is portable. I'm 40, wish I had more in my peer group and above that were as concerned. Timber, you should come out here. I don't know where you're at. We do Self-Reliance Festival here. I have these conversations. These conversations in the evening are whatever you guys want them to be. But I do a live with Nicole Sauce from Living Free in Tennessee every Tuesday. We did it with Joel Riles. He does attack dogs, not like police dogs, like these are gonna bite you and kill you if you come into the property kind of dogs, protection dogs. We had Joel Salatin on a week or so ago. We have these conversations all the time, but we have Self-Reliance Festival here. We just had our 5th one, and our 6th one will be in October. You should come here. We're going to do a Zero to Hero radio class. Evan Dixon's teaching for 2 days, Thursday, Friday. Self-Reliance Festival will be Saturday, Sunday. Joel Salatin is here presenting. We're going to do a live with Joel Salatin next week, speaking at Cole's event in East Tennessee next weekend. And then on Monday, during SRF, on Monday, Joel Salatin's doing a chicken processing class. How many gallons of ethanol-free gas would you keep for as much as you can? As much as you can, Hayden. Now, I would want to see you keep those in Euro metal cans, right? Because they don't off-gas. The gas is going to piss through plastic gas cans. These right here, these are 4 packs of Euro cans. These are NATO red fuel cans. There's 88 of them there. That's what I bought. And treat them with Pri-G. That's what the government uses. It's like it's like Seafoam or Staybill, but it actually works, Can we get Joel to the Zero to Hero class? No, he won't be, Evan. He's speaking at another event right before he comes here. Thoughts on MRE storage? I have hundreds of MREs, probably closer to 1,000 MREs. If you get on Marketplace, you will find that you can buy them local. Just keep them as cool as you can in a cool, dry. Nicholas Lyon. SRF, October 14th and 15th. I'll check it. PNW, Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I'd like to get out that way. Timber, man, you should find Mike Glover find Mike Glover's YouTube channel and watch the video. He spoke quite a bit about Pacific Northwest in his video tonight. Ever read the Survivor series from the, yes, absolutely. I think we're going to get A American out here for the event. I think there's some talks happening. 18650s, yeah, great way to do rechargeables. All right, guys, hey, I'm about to jump off of here. I see Amanda's coming through here, turning the lights off. I said, hey, I'm gonna cut this one short, so I have not.